Yo guys, what is going on? Jake here again. Whew, just got back from shooting some of the gig footage. It's going really well. I'm super excited about how that's turning out. It was crazy rainy, kind of yucky, but it sort of made the footage, which was a bunch of soccer footage for this local soccer club, look like extra dramatic. So even though it was a little bit stressful to kind of go test out the GH5S's weather sealing, you know, it's still working, still functioning, and we got some really cool footage. So that's going well. I've shot 3 different people for my next little cinematic short. We've got one more to go, and then I've just got to start working on the voice overlays and all of my parts. But anyway, we are here today to talk about gear, one of my favorite topics, and all of the gear in my studio as of 2019. So we're gonna do a little Jake Felzien 2019 studio video. All right, guys, so today's video was really and truly inspired by the fact that I did get a new addition to the studio. We're gonna talk about it in just a second. And it kind of made me sit there and wonder, like, hey, maybe everyone's wondering sort of what I use in my studio. I kind of went over it last video, but I just thought, let's show everything. Let's unbox this new piece of kit and just sort of talk through like the creativity from Constraint Studio and how I try to basically spend my money on gear and kind of my thought process behind all of that. But let's get out this little new piece of studio. So today we ordered basically a better version of a boom, right? For so long, I've been using basically my makeshift light boom, which I showed you guys in the last video. Again, I'll link that down below, or I'll flash up a quick clip. This is going to basically be, and I think I just ordered the wrong size of adapters, which is a bummer. I think it's still gonna work with the microphone. Let's get some more light in here and let's show off some of the studio. All right, guys, so as you'll see behind me, that's the boom right there. And basically what it is it's just a better version of what I showed you guys in my budget audio video. You're supposed to put a microphone at the very tip of it and then basically just hover the microphone right above your face, and you get that super high quality audio that's just way more professional for studio shots, interview shots, that type of stuff. This little baby is gonna be awesome. And basically kind of the reason I bought it, be right back. Basically, the reason I bought it is this other piece of kit, my wand light. Again, we're gonna go over all of this stuff in a second. I actually busted trying to mount it on my other tripod and then with these zip ties, hang the microphone from here. It broke this. I was able to glue it and fix it, and I was just like, you know what? If I'm going to like keep busting this and need to use this light for a very long time, which I do, it was a really awesome light, I was like, let's just invest $20 in a boom. That's all it cost me. And so far, it already just feels way better. So 2 thumbs up for the Amazon Basics little boom mic stand. It's awesome. But of course, with that being said, let's talk about the rest of the studio. Okay guys, now real quick before we go on and before I kind of show all of the pieces of gear, which is what I want to do, I want to show you guys each piece of gear. I'll go in and post and label everything with all of the price tags as I talk about it, and then we'll do like a sum total at the end and kind of just talk through what I believe is a very budget-oriented studio. And I kind of wanted to talk really quick about sort of my philosophy on buying gear, because I do think that even though I own a lot of camera gear because I love it, a lot of my decisions are very budget-oriented, and I think I am mostly creating, up to this point, a budget studio. Maybe it'll be like a fully flushed out professional studio. That'll be awesome. That's the goal. But I think right now it's still definitely kind of in that homegrown budget phase, and I sort of wanted to snapshot it in 2019 and just kind of show maybe, you know, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now what I really sort of turn this space into in the future. So guys, my philosophy for purchasing gear is that I believe in about one big purchase per year that you've saved up for and you don't go into debt for. So for example, I just bought the new GH5S. That's going to be sort of my big purchase for the year. Last year it was upgrading my 2012 MacBook Pro to a new MacBook that could handle all the 4K footage and editing that I've been doing. The new color science on the GH5, it's just, you know, it's a better machine. And so that's kind of how I justify gear purchases, is kind of say, okay, once a year, purchase something really nice and make sure you've done all your research and it makes the most sense to be the next gear purchase. This camera is a great example. It just made a lot of sense to buy this camera next. Now, the rest of my gear and a lot of the stuff you'll see in the studio is what I would call smalls. Nothing is cheap depending on how you put it into perspective. Everyone has different amounts of money. That's just the reality of life. But these purchases I consider in relation to the big purchases, the big yearly purchases that I save up for, to be relatively cheap. Lights, SD cards, ND filters, tripods, stabilizers up to this point, all of those things have been considered sort of my cheap stuff that I justify throughout the year. Hey, the boom setup that you made that was super janky, that's not really cutting it. Let's basically save a light and not break it any more than we already have. Let's drop 20 bucks. And let's make the studio a little bit better and just kind of phase those in, of course, as I have the money, no debt. When it comes to camera gear, I really just don't think it makes sense to go into debt, guys. Just save up and buy it when you need it. But anyway, that's sort of my gear philosophy, and now let's just kind of go through what I have in the studio. Okay. All right, guys, so let's talk the pieces of gear that we just saw in the B-roll sequence. I added the camera for the thumbnail. You guys know, obviously, that while I do use the G9 for photos and as a B cam, the main camera is this camera I'm shooting on right now, the GH5S. And the other piece of kit that's missing here is the Rode Video Micro, which is my only external recording microphone, which is mounted on top of the camera. So those are the two main pieces that we're missing here. Otherwise, this is sort of the Jake Felzien studio. Back in the left, this camping lantern was a present, so I actually don't know the price on that. We could look it up, but it was a gift. Here is a Manfrotto Tripod. This was the first tripod I ever bought. If you guys are curious about tripods and which one of these tripods to buy, watch my tripod video, I'll link it below. This is my fluid head tripod, which is definitely my new favorite video tripod by far. It's awesome and it's great for studio and interview work. This is my little baby Amron light, which I use for background lighting and little touches of light that just add kind of those nice little accents. This is the new boom, of course, which holds the microphone, and this is a 3.5 millimeter extender, which I believe I got as a gift, or I got it from my parents' house a long time ago. Those are probably like 10 bucks. They're pretty cheap. And then finally, kind of my main light that I use to light the studio shots of my face is this light wand, which has a little 3/4 screw mount. I mount that on the Manfrotto tripod these days and use it to position the lighting on my face and kind of help get that exposure correct. All right, guys, and so without further ado, let's sort of set up this entire setup. Let's kind of see how it all looks, and let's see how the new boom operates, and let's see the Jake Felzien Studio 2019. All right, guys, and voila, here we are back in the budget studio. I'm already loving the boom stand. It just feels way better, safer. I don't have stuff dangling over my head. It's gonna be so much better. Does it sound any better? I'm able to kind of position it a little bit better. I think it's gonna just be perfect. But let's add the final touch, which is the little Amron light. I usually just kind of put it back there as sort of some more background light to complement the lamp that we have right here on the desk. Another thing to keep in mind, guys, like when you first start out, don't be afraid to just like get your camera, put a shotgun mic on top of the camera, get a tripod, and just go shoot in natural light. I've accrued all of the lights and the mic stuff simply because I'm kind of nerding out about this and I just want to keep getting better and better at this craft, but also the lights are kind of a byproduct of me working a day job, and a lot of times I want to shoot studio stuff at night, and you need lights because there's no more natural light because the sun has gone down. Why is gear so much fun? Why is tech so cool? I don't know why I like this stuff so much. It's just fun for some reason. Just love nerding out about it. But anyway, guys, that is all I have for you today. I'll let y'all run. Just wanted to do a little Jake Felzien 2019 studio video. Catch you all in the next one. I look forward to seeing you all there, and I will keep you posted as I continue to grind away on the next little cinematic video that I'm working on, which is just going great. So anyway, see you guys in the next one. Bye. A very ominous and terrible feel that this video is going to be like 20 minutes long if I'm not careful. Quick edits, Jake. Quick edits. Can coffee go bad? I need to make another blend of Pete's blend, basically. I've made that one time and I loved it so much that I've been saving it for like special occasions, but I really should make another batch of Pete's coffee. One big expensive gear purchase per year. One big expensive gear purchase why can't I say why can't I say that right? Bloopers for the end.